Hey all you cool cats and kittens, this is Mrs. Wallstrand here doing phonics for the week. This week we are studying letter K, and I'm sure you recognize these cards by now. This is our picture of our uppercase and lowercase k, and then also a picture of a kite because the letter K makes the k sound. And when we chant our chart, we say K, k, kite. But before we do that together, we're going to do it with our sign language. So put up your two fingers and then your thumb in between. And let's practice saying K, k, kite together. Here we go. K, k, kite. Great job. We're going to turn our eyes to the board over here, and we are going to practice writing the letter K. So I'm just going to go over proper letter formations. Where do we start our letters? At the top, that's right, great job. So I'm gonna start my letter K up at the top line. I'm gonna do a big line all the way down to the bottom, making sure that it's staying in between the letter lines, not going below or floating up top, a nice straight line. Then I'm gonna come back to the top line, but I'm gonna go over to the right, and I'm gonna do a little line all the way into the middle, keeping my pencil down. I'm just going to turn it and do another little line all the way to the bottom. And that's for uppercase K. Then I'm going to try lowercase k. It's also going to be a nice tall line. So I'm going to start at the top, big line down. This time when I pick up my pencil, I'm not going back to the top like I did in my lowercase or uppercase K. I'm actually going to start at the dotted line, and I'm going to do my little line in and little line down. Exactly the same as I did uppercase K, I'm just starting at the dotted line. Make sure you start those letters at the top. Okay. Let's see what's next. Okay, so this is our poetry poster. We've done these since October, so this should be pretty familiar to you. This one is about letter K, and it's called King Carl's Kangaroo. It goes like this. Have you seen my kangaroo? King Carl asked of me. He went kite flying with the kids and may have lost his key. And I counted 11 heart words in this poetry poster. Can you count 11? Let's see if we can find some together. Okay. All right, I found have, you, my, of, me, he, went, with, the, and, have. And I think that's all 11. Great job if you found those with me. Okay, this is our sound search. This you can find in your packets for week 2. Only yours will look a little different than what I'm looking at here. Yours is going to have the label lines. So remember, as you're finding objects or pictures on the sound search that have the k sound in them, you can try and write those words. Parents, just be mindful that we're only thinking about the k sound. So some of these items in here you might know actually do start with the letter C, but they're still looking just for the sound. So I'm going to show you a quick example of what we want their writing to be looking like on their sound search in the packet. When we do phonetic spelling, we do something called stretching out the sounds and then writing them down. So let's start with the word kite. We talked about that earlier. It was in our card at the first slide here. So when I think about the word kite, if I wanted to write it, I would say it really slow and start with the first sound. K, kite. K. Okay, I'm going to write down my K. So I do my lowercase k because it's not a name and it's not starting a sentence. It's just a word. It can be lowercase. Now I'm going to stretch it out a little bit more. I like to do a motion with it. It just helps me. I. And I hear the I sound, so I'm going to write an I next, also lowercase. Okay, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to start from the beginning again. Kite. And there I hear that T sound. Now, one thing I was thinking about is when I stretched out the word kite, I heard the I sound instead of the I sound. And one thing that we've been talking about in kindergarten is when a vowel says its name, there's usually some sort of trick to the word. So in this particular case, I'm going to think it is going to be a magic E word. And when we add a magic E at the end of a word, that helps the vowel say its name. Let's see if you can see this a little better here. Here we go. Kite. And then, of course, the E is silent. But we know it's going to be helping that I say its name. And then I would go ahead and write that on my label line. Try and find as many things as you can. I'm going to get my little spotlight out here again. And I'm just going to go over the things that I found. I found kite, castle, koala, king, crown, kangaroo. There's another kangaroo. Key or keys, computer, kittens, or maybe this is a kitten and this is a cat, whatever you would like to write. And then also on this cat, I also see a collar. And if you found other things, oh, I saw one more just as I was looking at it. I also noticed these claws. So you can decide what words that you want to write. If yours sounded a little different than mine, just go ahead and write those on the sound search, as many as you can find. You could also look around your house and do a k sound hunt around your house and write down as many things that you can find. Okay, let's do some sounding out practice, or we also might call this decoding practice. So I'm going to use my arm today. That's going to help me break up the beginning, middle, and ending sounds. So I'm going to look at the first letter, I'm going to touch up on my shoulder, then I'm going to look at the middle sound, touch on my elbow, and then I'm going to do the ending sound down here on my hand. Here we go, let's do them together. Start at the top, right here. B, t, but. Now thinking about that U sound, remember we kind of hold our belly and say, like we're catching a ball or something and it hits us in the gut. Let's try it, Okay, next word, I'm noticing the vowel is A and we put our hand under our chin and we say ah. Everybody try it, ah. Very good. Those vowels can be tricky, so it's good to practice them. Let's try this next word together. R, ah, ran. And the next word, this is lowercase, if anyone was wondering what that letter was. And then E is the trickiest vowel for most kindergartners. So when we say E, we kind of want to like do a smile with our teeth closed and say eh. You try it. Eh. Let's do it. Ooh, let. Great job. Sometimes parents, that E sound can sound like A. So when you're helping your child sound out words or decode words, make sure they have that eh sound correct. And last word on this page, let's start with it. It looks like the middle sound is I, and we say I. You try it, I. Great job. Here we go. K-I-S, kiss. Okay, let's do some more. Whoa, there we go. Start at the top, and we've done all these vowels already today, so we'll just go right to it. R, I, D, red. Next word. Ooh, D, lead. The next word I'm noticing has an uppercase K, so that's going to tell me that it's a name. So let's sound out this name together. Here we go. Kim. And the last word looks similar. but it's a little bit different. I see a different ending sound. Here we go. K-I-D, kid. Okay, we have one more slide to do some sounding out, and then we'll come and do some silly words. Okay, here we go. We just did this word, but let's practice it again. Start at the top. K-I-D, kid. Remember, this U sound is Everybody try it. D-U-G, Doug. Next word is O, says ah. Here we go. J-A-B, job. And the last word is that tricky E sound, eh. Here we go. J-E-T, jet. Great job blending those sounds together today. Okay, let's read some nonsense words. Nonsense words are just silly words. They're CVC words, which means consonant, vowel, consonant. Let's try some. Let's start at the top with these two eh sounds first. Let's start over here. K, mek. And this side. K-E-D, ked. Okay, we have an I sound. K-I-G, kig. And over here. T-A-F, toff. Down here we have U, that's S-U-P, sup. And the last one has this week's letter and last week's letter. Let's do it together with the A sound in the middle. K-A-J, cadge. Some goofy words. Okay, I'm just going to leave this slide up for just a second. This is one of our word lists for the week. You can choose one of these 4 groups of words and practice reading them to an adult. So if you wanted to pause the video and read them to an adult or a brother or sister, whoever's working with you today, you can pause the video and you can read it to them. Okay, we have 3 new heart words this week. These aren't new words. We've been talking about them all year, but we're just focusing on them this week. You're going to find these words in your packets that are going to be for week 2. The first word is, say it if you know it. That's right, the word is saw. Spelled S-A-W. Okay. The next word also starts with S, but I'm noticing that there's an S-H, so the beginning sound I'm going to say is shh. This word is, that's right, it's she. Everybody practice saying it. She, spelled S-H-E. And the last word is this. You say it. This. And we see this TH at the beginning here, and we know that says either th or th, and in this case it's the hard sound, it's th, this. Okay, and last up I have here for you this week is one of our decodable books or our purple books. The great thing about these books for your kindergarten students are that every single word in here they should be able to sound out because it will be a consonant, vowel, consonant, or we call them CVC words. The only other words that you're going to find in here are going to be one of our 42 heart words, and only heart words that we've really studied in depth so far. So this book is called Kit and Kim. And you'll recognize some of the characters in here already. And I'm going to read it to you first, and you'll notice my mouse tracking on the screen. And then I'm going to show the pages again, and you are going to get a chance to pause the video and read it yourself, either out loud or by yourself, read to self, or maybe to a grown-up, or maybe they'll help you read along. Just make sure you're using your finger. In my case, I'm going to be using my mouse to track the words. Jen has Kit. Kit can kiss Jen. Jen saw Ben and the pup. Look, Ben, said Jen. This is Kit. Kit can kiss me. The pup ran. Kit ran. Jen and Ben ran. The fat tan cat saw Kit. The tan cat ran at Kit. Kit, the tan cat, the pup, and Jen and Ben ran. Kim saw Kit. Come here, cat, she said. Kim, you have Kit, said Ben. I want Kit for Jen. Here you are, said Kim. Jen can have Kit. Come here, Kim, said Jen. Kit can kiss you. And that's the end of the story. And on the bottom, there's 3 comprehension questions. Who chases Kit? Who picks up the kitten? And how do you know Kit is happy? And that's going to be the end of our phonics lesson. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you all of the pages of the story one more time. And then that will be the end of our video. So feel free to pause on these pages. You're not going to hear my voice again. It will just be a picture of the page. So go ahead and read to a grown-up and enjoy. Thanks, everybody.